Ready, hack. It's 8 o'clock or whatever time you guys think it is. A lot of people out there. What's up, people? Hello, welcome to 50,000 subscribers. I'm Mover, CW Lemoyne. It's been a while. I mean, the last live chat was in November, and that was at 10,000. So now we're at 50,000. So I can't thank you guys enough. I am honored to have such a growing channel, and hopefully we've been able to help you guys. So let's jump right into the questions because, well, that's why I'm here. Also, standard rules apply. Ask me anything, but if it's something I've already answered, I probably won't answer it because I've already answered it, and don't be a douche. So those are the rules. I'm going to try to scroll from the top. It looks like you guys have been here for a little while. Hey, Mover, how common is it for an Air Force pilot to transfer over to another branch and fly? Is this something that one can request or just happen? It's an inter-service transfer. It's not very common. I wouldn't plan on it, but some people do it. Megalodon, what's up? Hey, are you an instructor? Hey, Lemoyne, that's just so formal. Oh. Current flight instructor? No. Please playing DCS World. Eventually. What's up? Hey, get ready for the live. I want to know how come you haven't spoken about carrier landing. Well, actually, I have many times. I never did it. I was an adversary pilot, shore base. I was going to go to 106 and go do carrier landings, but about 6 weeks prior or 4 weeks prior, I tore my MCL and had a grade 3 ACL strain and didn't make the class. And then it just never came up because it wasn't a priority for us. So, nope, never got to go carrier fall, which is kind of a regret. I wish I would have. That would have been fun. I did do the some FCLPs with the squadron, but they wouldn't let me go with them because I hadn't gone to the 106 course. Let's see, a bunch of stuff. Words. 6% to do all. Democrats fight over who cares the most. Oh, is there a debate going on tonight? Yeah, whatever. Any thoughts about the UFO? So everybody's all into these conspiracy theories. I don't have any real thoughts. I've never seen a UFO. I'm not saying they don't exist, but I don't know. I mean, it could be some other program that we just don't know about, or it could be, but I mean, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense that there would be aliens for just that one little thing. It seems like, they would make their presence known other than, a grainy FLIR video, but that's just me. Is it doable from a legacy to the Air Force Reserves? I'm currently under the max age of always want to go fight. You mean like a legacy airline? Yeah. If you got a legacy airline number, sure. If you're talking active duty, then yeah, that's another thing. Carissa O'Keefe says, Pally GTA, play GTA. I just posted the third video, and it doesn't look like it's that popular. I mean, it's a lot of fun with Bo and doing those things, but I don't know that, if you look at the views and what, kind of makes sense and what seems to be popular, they don't do all that well. So maybe we'll do it later in the future, but it's not something that I'm going to make very regular on the channel, but it was a lot of fun. Do guard units take into account your degree depending on your major? Yeah, if you've got a lower GPA in an engineering degree or hard science, that absolutely works better than if you're, liberal arts and underwater basket weaving or gender studies or whatever. I mean, yeah, obviously degree helps. Degree type matters. Oh, we got play GTA. Can I fly in the armed forces services with glasses? Come on, really? In as many times as I've answered that on this channel, yes, there are waivers. Go do your research. Bogeydope.com, flyingsquadron.com. We'll just watch some other videos. How to prep for AFOQT? Study. Did you go to Oshkosh? No, I wanted to. I couldn't. That wasn't going to happen, unfortunately. There major difference in the Navy and Air Force flight physicals? Yeah, they have different standards. The Navy color vision is a little different. There's some differences for that. Let's see. Oh God, just scrolled through a bunch of stuff. Love the red shirt. Yeah, check this out. This is the Mondays with Mover merch. So this is, actually that picture, and then on the back it says, hold on, if I don't get the make them tell you no. So I don't know if you want to buy one. It's like Teespring and $20 or something. Can you explain why the F-16 side stick barely moves and why it was designed this way? I've always been curious. I don't know. That's how they design stuff. I liked it. it takes some getting used to. You kind of ratchet first couple times you fly it, but yeah. See, sorry, I've got to chat with Doug. You guys remember Doug from my previous videos? He's been out. He's going with me to the Corvette delivery, so we get to see him again. How do aviators train for G-force? There's actually a video I did about G-forces. Don't skip leg day. Let's see. How much nepotism is in the armed forces right now? Well, that's a very specific question. I don't know. I mean, I think the real problem is not nepotism, which I don't think there's a lot of. I just think the standards for promotion kind of are obscure. They don't value your mission. So, like pilots doing tactical things don't necessarily get promoted as quickly as those that just check the squares and get a master's degree and do all the professional military education. Let's see. Do you have a favorite firearm you love to shoot? Man, I love that 2011 that we did a review on, even though it did have some failure to feeds and failure to extract. But when it does work, it's an awesome gun. It's kind of like the F-35 and F-22. It's awesome when it works. How willing is the military? Yeah, if you can get a waiver, absolutely. Rick asks, "Good day, Broad Boy." This is all over the place, huh? But I'm enjoying it. I'm hopefully I can keep up with your questions. How often do you work for the police? Not enough, especially now that I've been flying the T-38 and doing the airline job and doing the vlog, but try to do it a couple times a month if I can. Still flying the 38? Yep. I just was last week. All last week I was flying the T-38, and I'll be going in 2 weeks. Any advice for somebody heading to Army helicopter pilot training? Go watch that video with Stephanie. It's an awesome time. The helicopters are awesome. Study, help your friends. It's universal. If you study, help your friends out, know the system's cold, learn the emergency procedures and the GK so that when you're in the aircraft, you're not having to struggle to find switches, think of where everything is. You'll do really well. Let's see. Did you have to buy that farmer more cows? No. We put the tape, the DVR actually, because an F-16 in the safe because we thought something might happen, but no. I guess the fence. His farm was adjacent to the range, and the fence was knocked down, so it was kind of his deal, not ours. But yeah, it felt bad. Is it possible to fly if you didn't get a pilot slot for active duty? Yes, absolutely. Is it mover? Do you try to give maintainers backseat rides? Man, I love backseat rides. That was my favorite thing. Obviously BFM, ACM, dropping bombs, all that stuff. But if I had to pick something at home time, it would be going out and doing. They call them FAM or incentive rides with maintainers. It's so awesome to see someone from the flight line, and I think Bill. I saw a comment here talking about the importance of maintenance. Maintenance is the reason that I get to do a cool job. Without maintenance, it just wouldn't be possible. And I've worked with some amazing maintainers at Homestead, BFA 204, and also now down at the 301st. It's mostly contract maintenance for the T-38, but they're a great group of professionals, and it's so awesome to take someone who's busting their ass on the flight line every day, put them in the jet, and show them exactly what we go out and do, so they have a better understanding, and just to go out and have a good time. Probably the hardest incentive ride I've ever done was a short, stocky maintainer. We went out and we did. So the standard profile was you do the unrestricted climb, roll inverted, go down to the low level, fly down to the Keys, and then go to the airspace, do a supersonic run, a 9G pull, do some aerobatics, and come home. And usually the few times I had done it, most people got sick on the unrestricted climb because you take off, and it was a slick single bag D model. You take off, you'd be about 450 at the end of the runway, you'd squat the jet and go straight up. Usually that's where people would lose their lunch. And this particular maintainer, I thought he was going to get sick. He's like, "Mommy," but then after that, he went into beast mode. So we go down to the low level, we do the mock run, and I'm like, "Okay, you ready for your 9G profile?" He's like, "Yep," and which really 8.5 because of the G limits on the jet. And he loved it. He's like, "Let's do it again." I'm like, "Okay, let's do it again." We did the 8.5 G profile one more time, and he's like, "Let's do it again." And of course, second, third time, I'm like, "Okay, yeah, one more time." And finally, it got to the point where he's like 4 or 5, like he just wanted to pull 9Gs. He wasn't passing out. He wasn't having any issues. And I'm like, "Man, this guy's going to make it tough." So I'm like, "Okay, yep, let's go do some other stuff. We're running low on gas." But man, I tell you what, he had an awesome G tolerance. I used to see him in the gym all the time, just a real short, stocky bodybuilder. All right, back to the questions. I don't want to. Where are the pups? Actually, Sniper was right here. He heard me talking and wanted my full attention, so I've been petting him, but he just wandered off. Kaiser's eating. Let's see. Are some fighters better for tall guys than others? Yeah. I mean, the limit is the limit, but I think Hornet has more room than a Viper, and I think an Eagle has more room. A10 has a real big, spacious cockpit. But you know, especially now with the F-16, they've got the center display, so you've got a lot less room. Strike VTB 5. I forgive you for being a fighter guy, but thanks for explaining and doing these Q&A for folks seeking interest in the military or Charlotte Eglin. Yes. Just want to say, as a Marine, I appreciate the heck out of you Zoomies. As an Anglico Bubba, it's great to know I had you all on station. Hell yeah. CAS is the best mission. I don't care. I mean, you know, people were like, well, you got the saying wrong about fighter pilots make movies and attack pilots make history, or bomber pilots or whatever. No, because fighter pilots can do both. I think air-to-air makes movies because, you know, when's the last time you got in a real air-to-air war? But close air support, striking targets, dropping bombs, that's what actually achieves the mission commander's intent. That's the greatest mission, especially being able to go out and, I shouldn't be hitting the table, shaking the camera, but being able to go out and support the ground troops, hearing them on the radio, hearing the gunfire in the background, and be able to roll in and shoot the gun or drop a bomb. It's a really great experience, great feeling. Let's see here. Waiting decision, the OTS board. Thanks for all the help. You're welcome. Which book was the most difficult to write so far and why? The one I'm writing right now. I'm writing a Shepherd book 3 that is difficult to write because I am doing just about everything else I can do besides writing. And I'm just procrastinating to the nth degree. So that's probably, before that, Finney Flight was kind of tough. Ever since I started the YouTube thing, it's been great, and there's been a lot of great opportunities that have come with that, but it's been a distraction from writing, which is about the only downside to it. What about operations management? What about it? That's a good, I mean, if you're talking about a degree, that's fine. You miss flying the F-16? Yes, every day. I miss it. I mean, that was the best jet I've ever flown. It's an amazing aircraft. Upper age limits for pilot, A&G, for instance, waiver process, second career, technical institution. Make them tell you no. The limit right now is 33. Go to the unit. They might do a waiver for you if you're qualified. They might not. It just it depends. There's no easy answer. Congratulations. Thank you very much. Hold on, I don't get lost in the comments. Mover, any news about the T-38 deleted videos? Ooh, boy. Yeah, it's not going to happen. Those videos are lost to the nethers. Well, they'll be in my personal collection or whatever, but it's just not going to happen. They're not going to retroactively allow me to post those. It was a missed opportunity, and like I said, I'm sorry that it happened. We did go out about 2 weeks ago when I was down there at the beginning of the month. We did a public affairs flight, which was 45 minutes of me sitting in fingertip doing this. I was number 2, and I think he got some good video, and I think it will be approved. So I think I will be able to share that video, but it's not cockpit stuff. It's just, he had a camera and he was looking. So anyway, do you think the Iranian F-14s could hold their own against 5th gen fighters? No. No, if they could even get them airborne, no. What type of pistol do you carry to your time? The Beretta M9, which is the 92 FS, I think is the civilian equivalent. I hated that gun. They were all poorly maintained, just crappy shooting weapons. I would. Any opinions on the TX replacing the T-38? Yeah, when it happens. I mean, it's been, I think they're not doing it for like 10 more years until it's IOC. I think it's like 2025 or something. It'll be forever. I'll never see it. Let's see. Why do I have to, Doug? Why do I have to approve your comments? That doesn't make any sense. Okay, how easy is it to become a pilot for vision is correctable beyond 2020? What does that even mean? Beyond 2020? So 2012? Or you mean it's worse than that? Then yeah, get a waiver. You'll be fine. Should I be a PJ or a fighter pilot? Well, they're both good missions. They're both pretty awesome. They're good ways to serve your country. Personally, you're asking a fighter pilot if he wants to be a fighter pilot. But yeah, no. How long have you been with the airline and have you trained on the Max? 3 years, and yes, I've flown the Max 3 times, and it's actually better flying than the regular. It's more comfortable, it's quieter. I didn't have any problems with it. Wisconsin Air National Guard 115 wing is next to my office. Humbled to watch. I've got a buddy. He's actually doing the mission downrange, deployed right now. So he's down there. But yes, they are transitioning to F-35 eventually. 5.6 is not too short. I was in the Air Force and Navy. You see yourself flying the F-22 or the F-35? F-22, absolutely not. And it's not because I don't want to. It's just because there's just no way. It's a very close-knit community. I would have to go basically to Langley, and I just don't see that happening. I don't think they would hire me at this point in my career. F-35, maybe, but I wouldn't say that. Have you ever considered becoming an astronaut? Yeah, I would love to. Hell yeah. But I don't have a technical degree or an engineering degree, so they would never make me do that or allow me to do that. Let's see here. Will you be trying out the DCS F-16? Hey, speaking of the DCS F-16, let's talk about DCS. So I just finished making a video for tomorrow night that I am extremely excited about. Well, there's only 200 of you right now, but there's some big DCS stuff coming, and I'm really excited about it. And I hope you will all participate and help. It's for a good cause, and I really believe in it. And even Gonky will be involved. So that's all I'll say about that. Are there any enlisted jobs you recommend or think are cool on Air National Guard bases, preferable jobs in Intel? Intel's a good one, crew chief's a good one, but Intel will give you skills outside of the military. And then TACP is another good one, which is the Tactical Air Control Party. That's the JTACs, Joint Terminal Attack Controllers. That's who calls in the airstrikes. How would you become a pilot in the Army? I think you go through a recruiter. It's a little different, but and you can become a warrant officer. So you don't actually need a 4-year degree. I think it's just an associate. Doug, no, I didn't test ban you. Let's see. Tell us another funny or interesting story while with the sheriff's department. The problem is they're not G-rated. Some of them are pretty funny. Okay, if I've told this one, Doug, stop me because I can't read these comments in real time. But so Bo and I were out on a call, and the woman was complaining about her friend, live-in partner, had stolen her car. And so we get to the call, and it was like the first call of the shift. I'm in training. We get to the call, and the woman says, yep, my girlfriend has taken my car without permission. And she says, okay, so what? I've got proof. Here it is on the phone. I told her to get it back, and she won't return the car. She left me at a gas station. So she hands Bo the phone. And Bo's like, huh? Scrolling through. He's like, okay. Hands the phone back to her, and he goes, ma'am, next time you want to hand a cop your phone, make sure you delete the text messages where you're trying to buy drugs. And she's like, what? No, I'm not trying to buy drugs. And it's like, he takes her phone. He's like, hey, when can I score some weed? I want to get a bag tonight. And she's like, oh, I don't know. And he hands the phone back to her again, and he goes, make better life choices. Have a good day. Because it was a civil matter. Wasn't actually a stolen car. But anyway, funny story. If you go to training and can't handle the G's, if you're guard. So if you're in the guard and you can't handle the G's, you wash out or whatever, if you've got the fighter grades, you've already got wings, they will help you find another unit. C-17, C-130, KC-135. They'll help you find another unit that does a full G. So, I mean, you're not just going to be on the street. You'll just go to something else. Patrick says, HH6D crew chief here. Great channel, sir. Keep it up. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you for your service. HH60 is a great, I love helicopter. I want to go get my helicopter, especially if you saw that video, the helicopter video that's got like 200,000 or 100,000 views in like less than a week. But so much fun. I loved hovering. Okay, what else? Who else we got? What's the fastest plane? Oh God, I lost. Fastest plane I've ever flown? F-16. It's faster than the Hornet. I mean, it accelerates better. Hey, Mover, can you explain high key, low key? I'm here all the time at Homestead trying to understand it. So it's called a simulated flame out pattern. So you go up to, I think it's 10,000 feet, if I remember right, and you pull the engine back, and you basically simulate if the engine flamed out. It's a circle. So at Homestead, it's a left-hand turn. I think it's like 4,500 feet. It's been so long since I've done it. But you're basically in an energy sustaining pattern, so that if you lost the engine, you're just practicing a standard pattern that you can recreate over and over if you did lose the engine. Why did you choose Leo instead of something flight related? It wasn't my choice. I actually showed up at the sheriff's office willing to help and actually try to help out with their aviation program. And they said, no, thanks. I said, okay. And I still, every now and then I've tried to say, hey, I'll go be a TFO because I can't fly a helicopter. But yeah, it's just, but I've enjoyed working patrol, and there's some other opportunities that I'm going to try to pursue. It's just a volunteer. It's just fun. Hey, Mover, what are you planning to fly after the T-38? Great question. I mean, there is no follow-on. I mean, if I could, I would do this until retirement, but given we don't know what's going to happen with the T-38, I don't know. So no idea. I mean, maybe nothing. I don't know. Let's see. Is it possible to be a pilot with a green card? Nope. You're going to have to be a citizen. What's your rank? I was an 04 in both the Navy and the Air Force. Opinion on backseaters? I'd rather have the extra gas. David, if you give the opportunity, rather fly the Su-35 or the F-22? F-22. Where can you study for the AFOQT? There's a book. You can find that. Let's see. You mentioned age limit. If you're 33, you're just gonna have to get a waiver. Make them tell you no. Don't use a YouTube channel to disqualify yourself. Just go out there and try to take it. If it doesn't work, do it. So somebody asked me about flying contract red air. I think contract red air is awesome. The problem is it's not compatible with an airline job, because the airline job basically only allows me to do airline stuff or military stuff. So yeah, it's not really, no, it's not that. Got friends to help you learn to fly a Black Hawk? Just let me know. Hell yeah. Send me a message. I want to go fly a Black Hawk. CW Lemoyne, I'll go fly a Black Hawk. That's awesome. Let's see here. Civil Air Patrol. Yep. Do you know military airport? Nope, I don't know. Sicily. Best advice for IFS? Same as always. Study, know your boldface, know your GK, help your buddies out. Have you ever had a training fight versus the F-35? If yes, how's the outcome? Yeah. In fact, I fought Raptors the other day. We're fighting, we fight the F-35 and F-22 all the time, and it's great. I mean, it's got a lot of bad press, but they're both very capable aircraft. What do you think about a former weed smoker trying to become a fighter pilot? Did you stop? You're going to have to report that on your security clearance. Be honest about it, but as long as it's former, you don't have a problem. Just don't be 420 blazing, cops can't catch me on your username, because that's not going to look good. Is it still the case pilots can't be colorblind? Yeah. Yes, it is. Are promotions and reserves like full-time duty? Yeah, unfortunately, yes. Guard's a little different. They kind of almost guarantee you to 05, but reserves, it's kind of, you got to do all the JPME and you got to do the master's degree and stuff. How much do you know about Area 51? Don't fly over it. That's all I know. Thank you for your service. Disabled vet, what was the best fighter you've flown? F-16. Thunderbird tryouts, man, I'd love that, but I don't think they would let me do it, especially as a T-38 pilot now. Let's see. Oh, be honest for sure. Got interviewed a bunch of times. Oh, no, this is Doug. I thought that was a question. Let's see. I'm interested in joining Cali Fire firefighting pilot. I was looking at 1 day second as an alternative. You could probably do both, actually. You could go to Cali Fire and then he'll leave and then go do that, and then we come back from training, go back to Cali Fire. What was your AFOQT? There's a bunch of them. All right, I think it was 77 pilot. I don't know. I had a 99 PCSM. Chemtrails don't exist. Don't be a moron. What percent do you pilots come from USAFA? I mean, probably 35%. Do you like history? I love history. Have you ever seen a grown man naked? Ever been in a Turkish prison? Do you know Dan Hampton? Nope. Did you ever fly the 15 in the USAF? No. I wish. That would be another one, especially being local. Navy or Air Force? So, I mean, it just depends. The Navy is a culture. I mean, this is a whole video, but the Navy has a very different culture. You're an officer first. Flying's kind of secondary. They expect you to do secondary jobs in addition to that. However, they treat you like an officer. They treat you like an adult. They expect you to go out and do things with good judgment. The Air Force kind of holds your hand, but it's more flying oriented. and it's more tactically geared. So it really depends. I can't think of one or the other. I think somebody just asked me about wide body. So I just bid from the 7.3 to the 7.5, 7.6 and got it. I'm withheld right now, so I'll be transitioning to fly the 7.5, 7.7, 6.7 soon. So I'm looking forward to that, and I'd love to fly the 777. Did you ever get up another personal aircraft? Oh boy, that's a tough one. So stand by on that. I may have some stuff going on with the channel on that very soon, but it's kind of taking a back seat just because I don't know what's going to go on. AFLQT score was like a 77. I think I've already answered this. Best call sign I've heard is Gonky, and I won't tell you why. Glasair or Lancair? Vans RV. That's what I would say. I would go Vans RV. Okay, if you sent me your contact through CW Lemoyne and it was not my Facebook page, it's not a real thing. I've got a Facebook profile that says CW Lemoyne, but it's not really a profile. It's just I used it to go live a couple times. So please send it to me through the actual Facebook page. Did you work with the Marines while you're in the Navy? Yes, I worked. I was the detachment OIC for an adversary jet. When we went and shot the missile, if you see the missile video, yes, I went out and did that, and they were a professional bunch, very helpful. Their tactics, they used a lot of very up to date. You know, they were very, very good to work with. So, and that was out at Miramar. So, absolutely a professional bunch. Did I meet Mr. Bush Jr.? No, would have loved to though. Still would. That'd be cool. Can my ASTB scores translate to AFOQT? No, you have to retake. Let's see. Basic cruise in the Navy. How often do y'all fly? I don't know. I never did any boat stuff, but I think they fly every day or every other day. Can you talk about some minority jet fighter pilots you came across? Statistically speaking, the majority of military aviators are male Caucasian. Thanks, Mover. Gonky is a minority, believe it or not. He's half Asian. I've flown with many, and the great thing about the military is it's just not something you focus on. It's, you know, that's my brother, that's my sister. We work together, we're fighting together. There's a common good. We just don't see race and color and all that stuff when you're in training and in the thick of it. It just doesn't matter. So I mean, plenty exist, and there's no difference between any other pilot. I think that's the beauty of the military. Would you recommend enlisting my hometown guard unit as a crew chief while in college and applying for a pilot slot? That is a technique. Will it help you? Maybe, maybe not. I would more recommend applying, rushing the unit. You know, I personally did not do that, and it was offered to me. You know, when I tried to get hired by the Louisiana Air Guard when I was in college, he said, "Well, you can go be a crew chief." Well, I don't want to do that. I'm in college, and it worked out for me. But I know plenty of people that have enlisted, and it's worked out. Let's see here. Hey, Mover, recently got selected to go to UPT through the Guard. I chose a heavy route. Love big jets. I want to say thank you for the inspiration. Any last minute advice? Same. Be a bro. Help your friends out. Enjoy it. It's some of the best flying you'll ever do. Which form of air refueling, boom or drogue? Never did drogue. I never got to go to the tanker. I went the Viper. It's the only time I've ever refueled. CCIP or CCRP? The Hornet's an auto bomber. You know, so that's more CCRP. The Viper is more of a CCIP bomber. That's what we used. Whoa. Somebody asked what my opinion of was heavies, and I think it's a great mission. I mean, they do some really cool stuff, especially flying a big C-17 around. I mean, that's awesome. How hard was it to get your wings? It is 54 weeks of very long days, very tough. But you know, it goes back to if you're a bro, again, general neutral, and help your friends out, they help you out. You use each other's support. You get through it, cooperate to graduate. You'll make the best friends of your life. You'll have the best time of your life. Would you fly a plane to fight fire? Sure. Yeah, sounds awesome. Does Gonky wear his Navy wings on his Air Force uniform? He sure does. He wears Navy wings on this thing. I tried to get Navy wings on mine, but they didn't want it like that. Have you ever flown the Super Hornet? No. Scariest moment of your pilot career? My scariest moment was not as a military pilot. It was as a civilian. In fact, I had just dropped Doug off, and he had flown with me in my Glasair, and I had a gear not come down. and I was not well trained. I mean, I had some training, but not to the extent that I had in the military, and it was just a scary moment because I just, you didn't have the instinct and the training that you get being a military pilot. Let's see. What do you think of Commander David Fravor and his Tic Tac encounter? I don't know what that means. Is that the UFO thing? Like I said, it doesn't really matter. Graduated college with a bachelor's in finance. Wizzo versus crew chief. What are they fighting? I take the crew chief because Wizzos probably don't have that good a vision. What should your GPA be to get in USAFA? 4.2? Yeah, that sounds like a great one. Navy wings on an Air Force uniform that gets cleared with inspection. There is no inspection, but yes, that is allowed. You can wear them. You can wear both, actually. Does an engineering degree help? So a lot of these questions, I say this, and I'm not trying to be mean, but a lot of this information is readily available. So I put the flyingsquadron.com/forums, bogeydope.com. I don't know if Once Check's still around, but Air Warriors, you have to go do the research and not, and actually be a self-starter. Any Guard reservists work in an engineering job as well? Yes, but as a young wingman, you will be committed to that. You need to be, if the job is co-located, like if you can get away and go fly during the week and stuff, that works. But if you're having a commute, it's going to be a tough sell. Why is any Air Force called the best? Doesn't it matter which pilot faces who in the dogfight? I mean, you're talking countries. Well, it comes down to training, experience, tactics, equipment. That's probably why. Can you be a pilot if you have ADHD? A lot of people ask me that. It just depends. It depends on the diagnosis, depends on how long and whether or not you use any kind of medicine or anything like that. What is the thing called on my right shoulder? There's nothing crawling on my right shoulder. Rule number 1. Have you thought about flying the TF-51D in the DCS? Yeah, I flew it, but I don't know. Okay. Oh God, now it's going too fast here. Let's see. I really liked all the Su-30 details you had in Infinity Flight. That was a fun book to write, and Gonky helped out a lot with that because he flew in Malaysia and they have Su-30s there. So that was part of that. Did I have prior flight experience? Yes, I had 260 hours, and yes, it did help. Absolutely. Let's see. Do you use a VR headset? Yes. I don't like TrackIR. Everybody on that DCS video got all mad at me because I tried TrackIR and didn't, but it's just not comfortable. It doesn't make sense to look this way and look this way. But I've got the Oculus Rift S now. I'm a little laptop that barely runs it. I don't know why people keep asking about considering punching out. It's like asking a cop if you ever shot somebody. I mean, it's not something you really want to talk about, but I don't know that there's a point that I considered. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of points that I thought about it, but I mean, you go to your training and you just do what you have to do. Do you have a better chance of becoming a pilot if you're a gamer? No. I mean, it might help you with hand-eye coordination skills, but it really doesn't matter. I mean, it's not like you're going to put that on your resume and go, hey, I played DCS and I'm a 19-star admiral. You ever met a pilot with a peanut allergy? Sure. Which ones are more difficult, helicopters or airplanes? I think it just depends on what you're used to. I mean, you put a helicopter hovering, it was hard as I demonstrated. I'm not very good at it. But, if you've been doing that a while, obviously that's easier than going out and, flying in a 12 ship formation doing, Mach 1 or whatever. Have you had any failures in flight? More than I can count. Yeah, it happens a lot. No, don't know any astronauts. That would be cool though. Cheers from Venezuela. Apaches are awesome. I love the movie Firebirds because I was a kid when that came out, and I really enjoyed that. Don't laugh about the 19-star admiral. There is Bo was a 19-star admiral, so there you go. Carrier qualified? Nope. I answered that right at the beginning. How many books do you plan on making for the series? I don't know. There's 10 books total, and I feel like I've gotten lazy since I hit that milestone. But I want to write one more Shepherd book at least, and I want to write a Kruger standalone book that starts from his origin and kind of goes to where the last book left off. To kind of do that. So, yeah. Maybe we qualified 2 aircraft. Yeah, not at the same. Well, sometimes at the same time, test pilots and stuff. Don't worry about that. Just focus on being a fighter pilot. Go be a fighter pilot and get what you can get. Don't get your hopes up so high that you're like, I'm going to fly everything. It's not ace combat. You ever been Al Salam Air Base in Kuwait? Yep. You could fly a historic aircraft. What would it be? Boy. Is the A-10 historic? Because I'd love to fly an A-10. It's not the A-10. I'd love to fly a P-51. That'd be awesome. I would love to fly an F-4. That would be awesome. I'd love to fly an A-4. That'd be awesome. When I was a kid and I played Jane's Combat, ATF Gold, I used to always get the A-4 because I didn't have to worry about the afterburner and everything, and I could win. Gott Hind. I don't know anything about that, sir. SR-71 would be cool too. Let's see. I'm pink gray color deficit. My dreams become fighter pilot. What do you have to say about that? I'm not a doctor. Ask a flight surgeon. Shortest fighter pilot I've ever met. I think the limit's 5'4", 5'5", but I don't know many. I think I've known a lot of 5'8" dudes, because that's pretty short for a guy. But have you conducted DACT with different NATO allies? Yeah, we used to fight the Canadians all the time, and I've done international red flags and stuff. It's a lot of fun. Would you be able to fly fighter at 6'6"? I think the limit's 6'5", but go look it up. Why does everyone like the A-10? Well, I'll tell you why I like the A-10. Well, first of all, I was a student hire working in an A-10 squadron, so I got to hang out with a bunch of A-10 dudes, and they're laid back. It's a good community, and they're doing just such great work. I mean, you talk about close air support being the best mission. You're right there in it with the troops. You're directly impacting. You're saving lives, like on the battlefield and shooting the gun and dropping bombs and flying low. It's just awesome. I once saw a girl who flies an A-10 at an air show. She's like 5'2". She's probably a little taller than that, but oh, congrats on the new milestone, loving the ZR1. Man, so the news on the ZR1. The ZR1 is being built. What's today? Tuesday. It's being built on Thursday, and it takes 2 weeks for them to what's called PDI, pre-delivery inspect it. And the first available that I could make with the schedule and all that was August 19th. So Monday, August 19th. Unfortunately, Gonky won't be able to go because he actually got another job. But Doug's going with me, and it's going to be a good time. I'm looking forward to it. I missed the ZL1. It was probably one of the greatest cars I've ever had, and I'm excited about the C8. I'm almost wondering if I really screwed up, but the ZR1, 772 horsepower, and I say 772 because it's got a factory intake option, which they just added for the end of the production run, so I'm really excited. All right, enough on that. A-10 is awesome. You can use it in DCS. Yep, sure can. Sent to any red flags as an aggressor pilot? No, never done red flag as an aggressor. Is blue air. Do I use the F-16 or F-18 in air-to-air combat? It depends. They're both very good. The Hornet's more of a gentleman fighter because it's slow speed and doesn't pull a lot of Gs, but the F-16 just has so much power. You can power your way out of a lot of problems with the F-16. How hard is it to fly formation? Depends on what kind of formation you're doing. It just, it depends. Flybys are typically tough, especially when they add turns and stuff like that, and timing and afterburner and all that, which I'm very sad I didn't get to show you that video. There was a lot of stuff there. Let's see. Prop-driven cast, viable to date? Yep, Super Tucanos. Do you sell T-shirts, the skull with the 3 triangles? That's the Odin logo, and yes, that's all available on the Teespring store. Teespringstore.com or /CW Lemoyne. Let's see. What do you think of military pilot salaries? Has it improved to keep pilots there? Yeah. I mean, not really. There's a reason people are jumping. People aren't jumping because of the money. They're jumping because of quality of life. They're jumping because of staying flying and the stability that the airline offers them. And that's just, it's a cyclical thing, and probably something else. Anything more on the book to movie deal, or is that dead? Working on it. I'm just working on it. It's one of those things. I'm working on another TV show idea. that's not book related, but can't really talk about it. But I mean, it would be awesome if it were. You ever been to EA Air Venture at Oshkosh? No, I wish I would love to. That'd be awesome. Would you be comfortable flying? Oh, what would I be comfortable flying? What would I be comfortable flying? Sorry. Well, sorry. I lost. What amount of experience do most pilots have when they are selected for test pilot school? I think you need 1,000 hours, but you go to the test pilot school website and go look. There's qualifications there. Would you make a video flying in a real A-10, please? Boy, yeah. Please talk to the Air Force and make that happen, and I will gladly do that. Send somebody an email because I will gladly do that. Let's see. Do you know paratroopers? Do you think manned fighter aircraft will completely disappear? I think you'll always have at least one in the node. You know, you'll have like an F-35 and a bunch of drones or something. I don't think you'll have one. Do you play DCS regularly? No. I just don't have time. What was your rank when you got out? I'm not out, so I'll let you know when that happens. How many flight hours do you have? 2,500, 2,700 hours, something like that. Does New Orleans have a C-130? Yes. Do you autocross or track your car? Well, I don't have a car right now, but yes, I do. I will. I have. I should. Would you say this is the best? Yes. I don't know what this is, but yes, this is the best. I enjoy it. Let's see. Least favorite plane or pilot to do ACM against? It's always doing ACM is fun. You know, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It's always fun. How old is too old? Military pilot, probably 34, 35. I mean, you're going to be really on the edge of even that's not going to be waiverable, but make them tell you no. Ever thought about including more airline videos? There's really not much I can say. I did an airline video way early in the channel. It ended up on the Airline Pilot Central, and we're really not happy with it. You know, they just didn't like it. It wasn't very popular with the group, but the problem is the airline and the FAA don't allow cameras in the cockpit unless it's an empty flight and the airline approves it, all that stuff. So I'd have to go to the airline and offer that, or they would offer it to me. I mean, it'd be something I'd consider because I love aviation and want to help, you know, the cause, but it's just definitely not something that's going to happen. When you were young, were you an Ace Combat gamer? No, I never liked Ace Combat. I played Jane's. I played Longbow, Apache, but I don't like the arcade games. And, you know, I've tried it. You know, people keep saying I need to do Ace Combat now, and I just don't like the unrealistic Ace Combat stuff. Need a coordinator calling cadence when turning in formation? Nope, I'll come out. Let's see. How can you not? I don't know that one. Do you think Top Gun movies are authentic? No, but they're great fun and they are exciting and they get people interested, and you know, it's just fun. You can't, they're not documentaries, they're just movies. Just enjoy it. How long should you go to college before the military? Well, how long does it take to get a 4-year degree? You'll need a bachelor. So whatever it takes to get that is what you 3 years. I think you can do that. Do you think your books would get a movie adoption? I hope so. When you did the low flying video, there's some issue. I remember in my generator problem or something. I mean, it's so long ago. It's something minor. Nothing huge. You comfortable with bringing air to ground combat in a subsonic aircraft like the A-10? Yeah, because you're not going supersonic. Doing close air support. You want to be slow and have the loiter time. Is it weirder with the F-16 stick to the F-18 stick transition? No, I thought it was fine. It's just like going, it's like the F-18 is like a big T-38. It's just a very easy aircraft to fly. Were you the first one in your family to get into aviation? Yes, sort of. My mom, when she was younger, kind of started her private pilot's license because I had her books, but she never completed it. So yeah, I mean, no one else did it. During flights, there's much leisurely chatter or just necessary info. On a cross country, maybe a little bit, but typically no, you're not chattering. It's just calm discipline. Do you get more dates with the ladies when you tell them you're a fighter pilot? No, chicks don't care anymore. How many G's is supersonic? 1? I mean, that's the 2 totally unrelated things. We had a chance to fly in an air show for a static display. Yep, enjoy doing them. I've done them at Acadiana Regional. I've done them a bunch of different places. I was going to go in the T-38. Maybe I will eventually. Would you rather be in the Air Force and civilian pilot, or rather active duty full time? Air Force and civilian. I mean, it's what I'm doing. You should do a podcast with Jello. Yeah, we've talked about it. We just haven't gotten schedules. I think he doesn't do call-ins, and we have to be in the same place. So toughest carrier trap, I didn't do it. Where's your dog? Right here. You just walked up. Can you sing Unchained Melody? I can't sing anything. Let's see. What do you fly now? 737 and the T-38. Can you see my comments? Yes. I taught at Acadiana Regional. It's a great airport. The lunch there is good too. Is there any guarantee? Nope. No guarantees in life. How do you fly in 1 week? If it depends. I mean, if you're talking active duty, I mean, it's a couple days. A10 or Spooky? I'd rather an A10 because I would rather be by myself in the jet, not have a bunch of people with me. How hard is it to get a backseat ride as a civilian? Almost impossible. It's unfortunate. It's just not a thing. Let's see. Do you ever want to become a Red Bull Air Racer? Do Red Bull Air Racers still exist? I thought I read a thing that they were going away. Are you an IP for the 38? No. I'm working on the flight lead upgrade program right now, but I'm not an IP, and we're an adversary squadron, so we don't teach. How long before you get moved in the left seat on the 737? I don't want to. I don't like narrow body flying. I'm going to the 7.6 and hopefully the 777, and maybe stay there until I can make captain. I actually don't even have enough hours. You have to have 121 hours. I don't have that. Know any test pilots? Yes, I sure do. Maybe I'll get him on the channel. He flies for the same airline I do too. He's a reservist. Would you like to fly the 747? Sure. How do you stay positive? I mean, there's no right answer for that. You just have to know things are going to work out and go with it. You fly airliners? Yes. Can you feel the recoil from the gun? No, you can feel the vibration. It makes like a metallic rattling for that. Just climbing up for primary. Any tips or advice? What to prioritize studying? Know the ops limits in the boldface. Help your friends out. Let's see. Is it true that they won't take you in the Air Force if you take amphetamines for impulse control? I don't know. Probably not. Do you see a pilot shortage? Okay, so people ask about the pilot shortage. There is no shortage of applicants. There is a shortage of retention. It's a retention shortage. People in my year groups are bailing to the airlines and not staying. It's people with their commitment ending at the 10 to 12 year point. They're the ones that are bailing. It's not necessarily a shortage of applicants. But let's see. Would you ever fly the B-2? Sure, but those are some long ass missions. I don't like being in an airplane that long. Let's see here. Wish we had YouTube while growing up. The problem with YouTube is you got to be careful about the information. I've seen some really crappy, terrible information that you got to do. Deuce still in? Yep, he's doing some good work right now. My thoughts on the MAX. Oh, God, that's a whole video on itself. I'm not impressed with Boeing. I'm not impressed with the 737 at all. It is an airplane that has outlived its usefulness. I mean, they've tried to update the avionics. It's just to keep a common type rating for so long. It's all old and outdated, switches, cycling bleeds, turning off hydraulics, all that stuff. I mean, it's just, they should have done a clean sheet design a long time ago, or used the 7.5 instead of the MAX and kept that going. It's just, this is some corporate stuff coming to haunt them, and it's just not that good. Highest altitude, about 50-something thousand feet, 51 or something, 49 something. Is it hard to fly an airliner? Not really. Let's see. F-15C or F-16? F-16. Better engines? GE. For sure. Would you be able to interview a YouTube pilot? Yeah, I know a guy. He's a good dude too. If I can, absolutely. Let's see. What are the Air Force rules on what you can and cannot film during fights? Well, that's a great question. So, obviously no radar sensitive stuff. I mean, it's the same thing. The basic rules are don't film anything classified, don't film anything that can give away any kind of classified tactics or techniques like that. The sub rules that kind of got where I ran into the problem is in the T-38, it specifically says you have to have 2 people in the cockpit, and that was a problem because the videos were solo, and previously the squadron had operated a certain way that we thought was correct. It turns out that rule wasn't. So, but it has to be approved. It's not like the Navy where as long as you're a big boy, big girl, you make the decision. Air Force, pretty much everybody has to be approved. Fly for the Thunderbirds or the Blue Angels? Thunderbirds. My buddy did that. My roommate in the B course and next door neighbor in pilot training did that. Don't know if you read my comment, but thank you for doing with your channel. I love the way you talk about your passion. I had to quit my work as a paramedic because of kidney disease. Yep, I talk about this. I actually got an email about this. Polycystic kidney disease. It's one of those things. There's just no treatment and there's no cure. I'm stage 1, and that grounded me for quite a while, 6 months, and then almost 2 years while the Air Force transferred. And yeah, it's it's just something I'm glad people are aware. Do you routinely weight train? Every day? I go to the gym every day, sometimes twice. It's just a hobby of mine. It breaks up the day, but yeah, I absolutely enjoy it. Let's see. Have you ever had to intercept an enemy fighter or bomber? No. Do you have more fun flying as a fighter pilot or an airliner? Absolutely. It's not even a little bit. Yep. Rare and genetic. I'm very sorry to hear that about your rare and genetic life-threatening disease. I mean, it's scary. When I got diagnosed, I was scared to death. I mean, it was it was a rough time in my life, and especially being grounded because of it. But thankfully, it worked out, and thankfully, I've been able to manage it. But yeah, it's definitely tough. What do you think of the Eurofighter? It looks awesome. I've never fought one, but it's a cool machine. Yes, I do have polycystic, autosomal polycystic kidney and liver disease. So I don't drink. I mean, that's one of the things. So, but no, they don't. They don't have an issue with it because it's stage 1, and it's asymptomatic. The only way they found it was an ultrasound. So, but kidney function's all normal and all that stuff. Offered a job piloting a new spacecraft in the Space Force. Would you accept the job? Sure, as long as I can come back and hang out with my dogs. I don't want to go to Mars or whatever. Leave them. Let's see. Do you have a better chance of becoming a pilot for broken bones? No, it matters. I mean, that might disqualify you, but I don't think you got a better shot. What aircraft did you solo in? A Cessna 152. Let's see. Do you know any mercenary pilots? Gonky was one for a little while. Who's your favorite NASCAR driver? Man, so let's talk about NASCAR. I was so excited about NASCAR, after I went to that race, I wanted to watch it. But what happened to that sport? I loved it growing up as a kid. I was always, Dale Earnhardt, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr. I loved all of NASCAR, and even when I was F-16s doing flybys, awesome. But I don't know what and now you can't even watch it. It's on. You got to go to like ESPN Ocho to find it. You can't even stream it. Does trim need a lot? Sorry. Does trim need a lot of adjusting during flight in the F-18 or F-16? No. The only time you trim Hornet is for AOA. Let's see. What kind of pilot's license you need to be a fighter pilot? None. Regret buying a 1901 now to 2020. I go back and forth on this. Yes and no. I think the C8's awesome. I hope I get a chance to drive one. I would love it as a daily driver. But you got to remember, it's the base model. They will eventually come up with a 01, but I knew the C8 was going to be what the C8 was going to be even before I bought it. And the reason I bought it, and I keep telling myself this, is the 2019 ZR1 is the last front engine, rear-wheel drive, manual transmission Corvette ever. And that's, and they only made 1 year of it. And there's just like 20, mine's 2879 out of 2895. So it's one of the last ones. And yeah, it just wasn't. NASCAR is not on NBC Sports every Sunday. I was looking for it this weekend, and I went to the streaming thing, and it says you don't have it because it's like NBC Sports Network 7 or something. No. Anyway, sorry. The new Shelby GT500 looks awesome. Somebody was asking that, and I absolutely. Oh, that's another one. Somebody said F-14. I would have loved to have flown the F-14. That's another historic airplane. Cool. I don't fly everything. I love flying. I love piloting. It's just awesome. Use a lot of rudder when flying jets? No. I used a lot of rudder in the Hornet for dogfighting and stuff, but not really for else. Any regrets on not landing on an aircraft carrier? Yes, absolutely. Do you play X-Plane? No, sure don't. Regret not going active duty. Would I have traveled around more? I mean, I don't think I really had that much of a different career. So, can an Army helicopter pilot fly fixed wing in the Air Force? Yes, but you have to go through pilot training because they're not equivalent. I have a buddy that did that. He flew OH-58s, black. I don't know if he flew Blackhawks, but he did that. Then he went to Air Force pilot training. He flew the F-15, the A-10, the F-18, and now he's a UPS pilot. How old am I? 36. Let's see. Can you do an interview with someone who joined the Air Force or Navy that had no flying experience prior? Yeah, I can see if I can find one. Marked CVPI or unmarked? Marked. Let's see. Were you intelligent as student or average? Yeah, I think so. I mean, I did okay. I had like a 3.5 or something in college. You don't have time to think up there. If you think, you're dead. No. Let's see. Does having your PPL change how the Air Force trains you for jets? Nope. Same process, regardless. Just changes how you do. Where have I traveled? I mean, same as any active duty. I was full time in the squadron, so I went where the squadron went, and we did just about everything an active duty went. We went, to red flags. We deployed. I was always doing the depot runs to Hill. I mean, there's difference. People think there's a big difference between active duty and reserve, and it's really not. Fastest I've flown, 800 knots is 1.86, Mach 1.86. Is a fighter pilot in the Air National Guard a full-time job? It can be. Active AGR, Active Guard Reserve. Oh God, okay. You guys need to slow down here. Are pilots scared of lasers? Only if they're on sharks. You train for ejection? Yep. Canopy, visor, mask, seat kit, LPU, 4-line steer, prepare, land, splash. All right, I got a question that's bugging me. How does the job affect family life? Is training on most marriages? I'm sure deployments can be rough. No, I know some of the guys with the best marriages I've ever seen are active duty full-time pilots. So, what's my take on contract aggressors? I don't have any problems with it. I mean, they got some really cool airplanes that they do it with. I've heard some pilots wear thongs. Is that true? That's classified. I believe I saw a maturation of books writing style from reading all of the Spectre series. Do you feel like you've matured as well? What's more enjoyable, flying or riding? Yes, I think I have. Yes, I think a lot of the riding happened during a really rough time in my life, losing my dad, and going. It was just a transition from losing my dad, losing my flying career for a little while, and changing jobs and all that stuff. T-Bear, you flew an A10. 2.0. I don't believe that your F-16 time doesn't count. You're an A10 guy, Mr. 2.02 Mach. But yeah, I think the riding absolutely got better. You should live stream a flight. I can't even get the Air Force to approve a recorded flight. I don't see that happening. Let's see. Why'd you go T-38s after 16s and F-18s? Because they hired me. I mean, I couldn't fly the F-18 anymore, and this was a great unit and great guys, and it seemed like it was work out. What's more enjoyable on that other question, flying or riding? Flying. I mean, I enjoy riding. It's a great thing to do at the side, but I really enjoy flying more. If the U.S. had a space fleet, will you be a captain? Sure. What do you guys wear under flight suit? Classified. Wish you could do a TED Talk. Sure. Yeah, I'd do that. Sounds fun. Will you adopt me? No, not unless you're a rescue dog. So no GoPro 7 in the cockpit, or just no live stream? Probably both. Were you a Chad or a gamer? I don't know what's a Doug. Tell me what a Chad is. Let's see. Rush Chopper 2. Yep, we're in the same shirt. Yeah, I did laundry. It's cool, huh? Let's see. Do pilots wash out after they get to the squadron? Not typically, but it happens. Who was your Air Force Reserve OA recruiter. I don't know. It's been so long. I mean, that was years ago. When are you going to stop flying? As long as I can. I don't know. I mean, I know people fly in their 70s. Let's see. Oh, Chad is a jock. No, I was more of a nerd. I was more of a gamer, but I worked out. I mean, I went to the gym and stayed active. I was more into cars, like fast cars. You know, that was my thing. Chad is a douchebag. Oh no, I try not to do that. That's rule number one, actually. Fastest G-force? You mean highest G-force? 9.8. Over-G'd the crap out of an F-16. Let's see. Saque me licencia en moron. I don't know. I don't speak Spanish. About to get on DCS. See ya. Adios. Let's see. Is the earth still flat? No, it never was. Read a book. You should tell. Yes, I do sell channel theme. Oh, right there. Teespring. Tom Cruise or Iceman? I don't know. Iceman. Have you seen Iceman lately? Ever consider doing a home build? Man, I tell you what. I am not. I had a home build. I worked on it, and you can ask T-Bear in the comments. In fact, he should probably comment. But I'm not the person to be building airplanes. I'll fly them. I'll do basic stuff, but I have no. I'm not. No, I just. Is the ILS landing pattern any different than the overhead? Yes, ILS is for when the weather's bad. Overhead is for every other time. Moron Sieg. I don't speak Spanish. Have you ever passed out during G-force? No. Come close, but no. Was the overage in the F-16 on purpose or accidental? It was accidental. We were, I just come back from Iraq where we had been flying with 2-bag, targeting pod, bombs, so a lot of heavy jets, and I was slow, so when we did the check away, I was an afterburner, and I was like, okay, my internal clock was saying, okay, I'm slow. And when I turned in, I was supersonic at the merge, but I thought I was still slow because I was young and stupid, and I tried to go single circle, but when I did that, I was supersonic and overshot the limiter, analog flickus. And yeah, it sucked. Let's see. Oh, Portuguese. I don't speak that either. Let's see. Bonjour. Air Force. That's Navy Common, sir. Navy Common is 2430. Barack Obama's on here. Wow. Any advice for young aspiring? I mean, watch the other videos. It's you know, get good grades, study, join the Civil Air Patrol, make them tell you no. Coolest weapon I've discharged from an airplane. I mean, shooting an AIM-9 was cool. Dropping big bombs is always fun. I like shooting the gun. Shooting the gun, shooting the rockets were always my favorite. In fact, on my last, my Finney flight in the F-16, I got to do it all. We dropped bombs, shot the gun, well, not bomb, BU-33s, and shot some rockets. Have you ever flown the F-14? No, it was long gone by the time I got there. What should I do if they tell you no? Well, it depends on who tells you no. Is it somebody that actually can tell you no, or is it just like an enlisted recruiter that has no idea? Not saying that enlisted recruiters are bad. I'm just saying you need to get the actual person that makes the decision to tell you no. Would you ever sell autographed books or posters? Yeah. In fact, I'm giving away books right now, autographed. Go to the videos on the channel under the books, and I've been talking about the books and giving them away. All you have to do is comment, like, and subscribe. You ever had a bird strike? Dude, I had, in fact, it's on the channel. I had a bird strike at rotation during a formation takeoff. It went down the number 2 engine and spotted out the motor and had to do heavyweight single engine landing as a student pilot solo. It sucked. Do cadets from prestigious university, ROTC, have a higher chance? It just depends on how many slots they have. Where's the best crawfish in Louisiana? Mamou. Definitely Mamou. Do you own an Xbox or PS4? I actually own both. Yeah. I don't have my own airplane, but I want to get one. Everyone says that colorblind people can fly jets, but the waiver guide says it's possible. What do you think? Try it. See what happens. Who's your favorite author? As a kid, it was Michael Crichton, John Grisham. As I grew older, Vince Flynn and Brad Thor are my 2 favorites. Harrier or Strike Eagle? God, really? I mean, you're making me pick those 2? I don't know. Strike Eagle, sure. Let's see. there anything you would do different in your career? Boy, that's a tough. There was a chance for me to go fly to be the youngest F-22 pilot in the reserves, and I didn't get that opportunity because of some bad decisions I made. And I would have done that differently. Uh, just is what it is. What do you think about? Are there any classic aircraft you'd like to get behind? Yep, I answered that a while ago. Astigmatism, you just have to apply. You go through the medical process, and if you're within the waiverable limits, they'll do it for you. I did not fly the T-45. I flew the T-6 and the T-38 because I was Air Force trained. I don't know. Eagle deserves no hate. Yeah, sure. How long do you think the Air Force will fly the F-16? How many Gs can it withstand? I think it's going to end up being G limited, just based on airframe hours eventually, but 9 Gs. I wish they had upgraded, the ESA radars, formal tanks, and just bought Block 70s. I actually wrote about that in Spectre Rising, fictional world where they do that. I mean, it would have been cool to have more of those, just like they're doing with the Strike Eagle, or the Strike Eagle that is actually the F-15 that is the SA or whatever. Let's see. The oh shit moment. Everybody keeps asking this. I answered that a while ago. I mean, there's plenty of them. I mean, when we got struck by lightning, I talked about that on the video. The bird strike down the intake. I mean, there's plenty of. One goofy one was not so much dangerous, but I was a young lieutenant and thought I was smart. And typically, so we take jets to the depot, which is where they do heavy maintenance and stuff. And I was going from Homestead to Salt Lake City, which is across the country. And typically, we'd go Homestead to Dallas, get gas in Dallas, and go off to Salt Lake City at Hill. And I thought I was smart, and I called some tanker units and said, "Hey, I'm lonely F-16. Do you want to hook up?" And they said, "Sure, we'll meet you in Louisiana. We need to practice some hookups to get our qualifications. We'll give you gas. Go." I was like, "Awesome, cool." So I go through this whole process and hook up, tank. They're dragging me towards Salt Lake City, and they come up and they go, "Hey, you're being instructed to divert to Salt Lake City International." I go, "Why?" And they're like, "Well, you didn't check the NOTAMs." I go, "I think I did. What did I miss?" And they said, "Well, you didn't get a PPR, which is a permission request to land at the airport." I'm like, "I thought I did." And they're like, and luckily, tanker dudes, awesome. I got to give them credit. They said, "We got you." So they used their little phone that they have and actually called base ops, got me a PPR, and kept me from having to divert. It was the coolest thing ever. And I will never forget that. I appreciated it so much. But yeah, I was kind of like, ooh, because I could just hear my OPSO yelling at me when I landed. Like I just knew that I was going to get yelled at. Did you ever drop a small bomb on a Mexican city? No, can't say that I have. Let's see here. Jet fuel and chill. Yeah, exactly. Are you a Shark Week fan? No. It just doesn't. I don't. No, I mean nothing. It doesn't do anything for me. I like jets and mechanical stuff. What's your favorite shows to watch? Right now, Psych. I'm really enjoying Psych. That's a cool. I mean, I've watched it before, but I love watching it again. I love the banter and the friendship and stuff those dudes have, and I think it's a good show. And I like a bunch of Netflix stuff. Did Gronky? His name is Gonky, not Gronky. No, he didn't fly the flanker. He just flew against it. He knew guys. See, what plane are you looking forward to flying next after the F-18 and DCS? The Viper. I mean, I'm looking forward to flying that. But I mean, it's still the real thing's always better. Have I seen Ozari? No. Get your helicopter ad on. Yeah, it's funny. I was Googling that. I was looking for a flight school that's, GI Bill and all that stuff so I could go do it. And there's no flight schools around me, like just period. The nearest one's 2.5 hours. That's the only, not even just GI Bill, but period, to get any kind of rating. So I don't know how I'm going to work that out. Would you like to fly any Russian stuff? Hell yeah. I fly anything. I love flying. I've flown an L-39. I enjoyed it. I think the Air Force will take a look at the F-17. You mean the F-117? No, just too expensive, for what it does. It was technologically good at the time, but I don't see it. You ever seen a wildfire from the air? Yeah, I mean it's pretty nasty. Let's see. Yeah, I appreciate the helicopter time in Abbeville. The problem is that's what I ran into. Is I live on over here. That's about 2 hours, 3 hours from here in Mandeville. Let's see. Thank you for congrats on the 50,000 subs. I'm trying. I'm just trying. I don't. People say it's an aviation channel. It's an advice channel. It's just whatever. I try to just put what I enjoy, and hopefully people like it. Hopefully people will continue to like it. You know. I've never flown a seaplane. Name for your T-38. They actually are named. I was wrong. They actually are named. I flew one that was shake and bake. One that was the slot machine. I flew shake and bake for the NASCAR flyby, which I thought was awesome because shake and bake, Ricky Bobby. Would you ever consider owning a private L-39? Yeah, probably. That'd be fun. Any more plans for DCS in the future? Yes. Tomorrow. Tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow will be the day, and I've got a big announcement. Favorite World War II aircraft? P-51. You have your tail wheel? Yes. I got my tail wheel in a Pitts S2A. Or is it B? S2B? S2A? I don't know. I got my tail wheel in the Pitts. It was hard. And then I've flown the Pitts, Giles 202, and the Aranca Champ. Let's see. Where you move to a different aircraft? Yeah, the 7.5, 7.6. I don't know about fighter wise. I don't know. We should talk about fighter squadrons to get sponsored after ROTC. If you're in ROTC, you want to start rushing units now. Just go show up and show your face, get to know and find out who's in charge of hiring. Are you going to name your new vet? No. I'm going to get a personalized plate that says Mover, though. I think that's going to happen. But I'm not. I don't really. Blue Beast, Blue Demon, Blue Devil. I don't know. They were the Blue Devil back this C6. They do not have DCS for Mac, as far as I know. Tomorrow is not another live stream announcement. It's just a little 4-minute video with me, and there's a little clip with Donkey. We made it today, and it should be pretty good. Will the Air Force retire the F-15C? I don't know, but they're replacing them with the F-15. The new one, the one that's a Strike Eagle that's converted with conformals and the big radar and bigger motors and stuff. What do you think of ag flying? I had to look to make sure it wasn't T-Bear. T-Bear does it. Good friend of mine, mentor, great fine American. Yeah, his stories scare me. It sounds awesome though. It looks like a lot of fun, but too rich for my blood. What nickname would you give to a new fighter jet? The Spectre? I don't know. I'd steal that from the AC-130. Let's see. How many Gs can the F-35 pull? I think they're 9G jets. I just don't think they can sustain it like the F-16, but I don't know. Farthest deployment you've been on? Iraq, a lot. What cockpit configuration? I prefer the F-16. I think the pilot vehicle interface, the HOTAS and stuff, it's all much more user-friendly. You don't have to reach up and touch stuff. It's just all right there. Let's see. Hovering difficulty first time compared to flying jets. Yeah, it was tough. I mean, I'm not going to lie. It was tough. It took a lot of concentration. I mean, it's just, it was tough for me, especially, the first time I actually did it. The video was actually the second time. The first time I did it was the OH-6, and that's a squirrely little helicopter. What was your personal struggle when you became a fighter pilot? Well, I mean, they told me no. Vision. I had astigmatism. I struggled just getting to that point, and then being away from home sucked because it was the first time I'd ever really been away from home, and whatever. How many combat fly hours? 150, something like that. Do you consider to be a comrade? Consider who? Did really well. Did you remember to breathe? They say wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes when you fly formation. It reminds me a lot of the intensity of the first time you fly formation, especially in the weather. But it was, I loved it. I think flying helicopters, I have utmost respect for those guys. I'd love to fly an Apache. I thought about when I was in the transition from the Air Force to the Navy, I was sitting around, and I don't know if you guys remember the Nat Geo show with the Pedros, and I actually seriously considered like aborting the whole Navy thing and trying to apply to them, because I watched that and was like, I've done nothing with my life. This is the coolest mission ever. I just loved it. If they weren't, if there were a helicopter squadron like here, or in Gulfport or Dallas, New Orleans, or something that I could transition to, I might even consider doing it. It'd be awesome. But the only two reserve ones are at Patrick and Tucson. None of those locations would really work out. Yeah, you do get white knuckles, and I was probably over controlling a little bit because the first time I did it with the OH6 was, I'd gone out with Brandon, wasn't much pressure. It was just kind of, okay, try this. Okay, try this. And this time it was more, okay, here you go. Here's everything. It was kind of, I wasn't there yet. And it was awesome. I mean, Stephanie's a great instructor and she's a great pilot. So I'm 25. You're 25 and you're asking if it's too late. You've got plenty of time. Go do it and make them tell you no. Did you ever interact with Canadian Hornets? Yeah, all the time. I used to come down and fly Canadian versus Air Force all the time. I fought them a bunch of times in the F-16. Do you think that special mission aviator is a more difficult position? What is a special mission aviator? I don't know what that is. I didn't land on a carrier. 29 is also not too old. The limit's 33. If you're under that, go do it. I appreciate that offer about the Gulf, but the thing about that is I've got the airline job. I would go. What I would love to do is go get the commercial helicopter add-on and go fly on the side for a sheriff's office or something. I think that would be awesome. I wanted to go to customs and fly for CBP Air, but at the time they were only qualifying people that had dual rated. They were dual rated. They had just done the cutoff. This was back in 2012 because I had a friend that was an F-16 pilot that got hired, and then they qualified him and got him on the Black Hawk. He was flying the A-Stars. He was doing awesome. I thought that was cool, but yeah. Navy pilots speak Fox 1, Fox 2. That's universal. That's 3-1 com. It's just the type of missile you're shooting. Have you ever fought an Eagle? Yep, in the Hornet. Never in the Viper. Oh no, I fought it in both, the Hornet and the Viper. I don't know any South American pilots. I've seen some cool videos of South American pilots flying like their A4s and stuff, but yeah, Chris, I'm like every time you're all caps, so I keep saying it. The CBP hiring minimums are down. That has changed, but now I'm an airline pilot first, and second, they're mostly doing border towns. And I've heard the culture has gone down. Not personal experience. Who won? In the Hornet, I won, and in the Viper, it was pretty even. And that was just because the guy I was fighting was, about to retire. He was the most experienced Eagle guy there. I sucked in comparison. I mean, he was just fighting his jet better than I did. But the Hornet versus Eagle was, the Hornet's pretty good when it comes to that. My caps lock is broken. Sorry. Let's see. What are your thoughts on thrust vectoring? Sounds awesome. Haven't done it. How demanding? Yeah, it's pretty demanding, but you just get used to it. Skyhawks, Mirages. Saints fan? Yeah, who dat? I wasn't a Saints fan. I'll be honest. I kind of took a break from them. What was it? 2 years ago, I was going to go to London and go watch them, but then they did all the kneeling stuff, and I just wasn't into that. Especially when they turned their back on an NOPD officer. I'm very pro law enforcement. I didn't much care for the way they acted there, so I took a break and then came back this year as a fan, and we were robbed. We were robbed. It's the pass interference call. We were robbed. Sorry. Have you ever met a former Navy SEAL? Yep, a few of them. First car ever owned, first actual car, like car was a 94 Corvette, but first actual vehicle was a pickup truck, an F-150. Viper or Hornet, depends on what you're doing. Could you explain a roll call? It's a gathering of fighter pilots to tell stories and make fun of each other, and it's just something you're going to have to experience yourself. 35, too old to start. I would, if you're highly qualified, if you've got a degree and everything's in place and you're 35, absolutely. I'm not going to tell you no, but yeah. Do you like the Maverick? Mavericks are cool. Yeah. What made you get into YouTube? Gonky convinced me. Gonky said, yeah, you need to do this. And I thought, well, I was watching car blogs or whatever. So the first blog was about, me going and getting the Camaro. And it didn't take, I had 200 subscribers until last July. And what made it kick off was I was doing this for the readers. I wanted my readers to get to know me. And I started doing vlogs about that, and it took off. And, I realized that there's an outlet to be able to help young aspiring pilots, as well as enjoy some of the YouTube stuff like cars and guns and airplanes and stuff. And I get to share my passion with the rest of everyone, and hopefully inspire the next generation. Let's see. Oh my God, there's been a lot of questions since I said that. What is your favorite U.S. Special Forces? I don't have one. I mean, they're all cool. Do call signs change? No, unless you do something stupid, get a hostile renaming, and you haven't been in, a combat zone or something with it. Have you ever taken part in a red flag? Yep, it was fun. Enjoyed it. Why are O clubs not the same? Like officer O clubs, like O clubs, or like oak leaves on your, I don't know. Do you ever collect challenge coins? I have a bunch of them I don't collect. Thanks, Dr. Wigglespank. I should have done one at other milestones. Maybe we'll do one at 100K. Maybe we'll just start doing this instead of Mondays with our mover mailbag. I don't know. Is it a bad idea to call an Air National Guard squadron if I'm looking to get hired? No, that's actually how you would do it. Yeah, I would call. Absolutely. I did not fly a Strike Eagle. I flew an L-39. Wait, no. I recently flew an L-29 civilian test pilot. Expect will go away. Which current fighter is most similar to the L-29? Probably none. The L-29, the L-39 are probably closer to like a Tweet or a T-6. Let's see. Do you think Blue Angels pilots are crazy for not wearing G-suits and oxygen masks? Yeah, I mean, more power to them. I'd rather wear a G-suit. Oh, really? Did I do something? You guys still hearing me? Doug, you still hearing me? Somebody said my video is cutting out. Audio. Are you good in dogfight game? No. No, the dogfighting is an art that it's positional and three-dimensional, and a lot of it is feel and G-forces and stuff. I fully expect, if I were to go out, I mean, tactically, if I'm pulling, if I'm doing something, the Kaiser's back there chopping at me. If I'm doing something in the game, I think, tactically against somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, I'd probably do well. But if it's somebody who knows what they're doing, I mean, it's tough, especially if they're used to it. What are you doing? Why? Sorry, the dog is, anyway. Let's see. Teach us some phrases in pilot speak. What do you want to know? Give me I already answered that one. UPT, how do you balance helping your bros when you show you're competing with them for 38s? Don't think of it as a competition. Just throw the competition stuff out. This is not Top Gun. This is not, there's no points for second place. Get that out of your head. Every flight is you versus yourself. It is not you versus your other students. It's not you versus anyone else. It's you versus you. So you do your best. Let the chips fall where they may. You're not going to step over somebody to do that. So just don't worry about it. What is the Navy equivalent? God, I don't remember. What other injuries from G's? Holy crap. So funny you mentioned that. I went to physical therapy today because I tore some tendons in my neck back when I was, early 20s pulling G's. And now today it's, I got arthritis in my neck. You get C4, C5, and then spine stuff, lower back. But comes with the territory. It sucks. Medical questions, I'll just answer this right now. I don't know. You have to go look at the waiver guide. Flight surgeon's going to be the one to know that. Who takes care of your dogs? There is a doggy resort called Over the Rainbow here in the local area that are awesome. In fact, they just texted me. I should probably text them back and say, hold on, I'm going to do that actually while we're on this live chat tomorrow. Okay. Let's see. Is there Let's do 5 more minutes. We'll stop it at an hour and a half. So let's get some good questions. I tore tendons in my neck. I didn't pull tendons in my neck. So, how'd you get your call sign? I've answered that one. Straight from cows. What do I think about the C8 Corvette? I think I talked about this earlier. I did, but I love it. I think it's great. I mean, it's a great car, and I hope it turns out well. Police officer or fighter pilot, which is more stressful? Police officer, by far. I mean, I get more of an adrenaline rush doing a traffic stop than anything I've ever done in a fighter. And it's not just because, it's more dangerous. The current culture in America is so, sorry, I'm hitting the table. I shouldn't do that. It's become so anti-law enforcement. And it's not because of stuff that law enforcement's done. It's just because of a negative media image that's been unfairly portrayed. And a lot of small incidents have gone much bigger. And I just think, it's hard to be a cop these days. It just really is, because there's just so much risk. And, they're wanting to handcuff the cops and keep them from doing their jobs. Meanwhile, the criminals are being set free, and they have, unfettered access to weapons and stuff. And, anything could be a lethal encounter. And it's very sad. On my Facebook page, which if you're not following, facebook.com/CWLemoyne, I try to post that to remind the public of what sacrifices that were, it used to be, 10 years ago, every day or every other day, you would hear something about a service member killed in Iraq and Afghanistan, just in the war on terror. And now it's not service members, although just today or yesterday, we lost 2 to a Taliban or Afghanis, which is very sad. But now it's a law enforcement officer that's killed every day or every other day. So it's just very sad. Let's see. Why did you want to land at Salt Lake City International? Well, because the jet had to be at Hill. So in order to land, it would have been a big commotion. I've gotten yelled at. It's not good. It's not like we can just go start it up and go. It would have been refuel, government fuel card, all that stuff. Jeeps, yes or no? I think Jeeps are cool. I don't have one. But that's not really been my thing. But I've ridden buddies that have them, and they're pretty awesome. 5, 10, 15 over the speed limit. When do you decide to pull them over? 10%. When I go out, I don't write. I try not to write. I mean, I try to go out and just correct the behavior. Even if it's heinous, if they're honest with me and there's nothing else going on, everything's in order. It's usually just a warning. I mean, that's just my going in game plan now. Things change based on what's going on, but I think 10 over, anything over 10, is probably going to be a stop. Just have a talk, and other than that, do you follow Q? I don't know what Q is. It's Q. A couple of questions. After you fired an AIM-9 or AIM-120, can you hear it launch from the cockpit? Yeah, it sounds like a bottle rocket. You don't really feel it as much as unless it's a bigger missile. Yeah, I'd love to fly a Spitfire. Why do you call the F-16 the Viper? Everybody calls it the Viper. It's been the Viper since, I think it's a Battlestar Galactica reference, because nobody wants to call it the Fighting Falcon. Hardest part of the academy for law enforcement? Pepper spray. Getting pepper sprayed sucked. That was tough. Also, the dead body stuff kind of got to me, just because it was less than a year after my dad passed away, and that just kind of hit me hard. But other than that, how often I do train in Krav Maga? Not anymore, and that's unfortunate. I need to get into it again. I just haven't had anybody to train with, and it's been several years now. Let's see. I don't know Morse code now. Let's see. Private add-on and try to become an observer for what? I mean, I have a private pilot's license. I have an ATP. Let's see. One more question. We got 1 minute left. Okay, 2 more. Glock or SIG? I'm a Glock guy. I've got SIGs too, so both. I mean, that's kind of. Good evening. Is there anything I can do to think of MEPS work with me better? I don't know. MEPS is kind of later in the process. How would you go about requesting a flyover for SAF PA? There's a website, SAF/PA. There's a website where you put in your request and you can get your flyover. Let's see. I don't know what revision sunglasses are, but I wear them. Oh, yeah. TFO, Airborne Law Enforcement Observer. Yeah, I've tried to do the TFO thing and couldn't make it work with Harrison County just based on the distance. But yeah, we'd love to do that. L39Gs is like 6, 5. But when's the next book coming out? I have to write it. I've got 10 chapters in, and I've just been so busy with all the other stuff. So anyway, okay, I think that'll do it. It's 9:30 my time, probably bedtime, but getting close to it. Thank you everyone for participating. I mean, 270 people to sit here and shoot the breeze with me. It's been awesome. Thanks, Doug, for helping me out with feeding me comments and making sure everybody was well behaved. And thank you all for subscribing. Tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow evening, I will post something. It's big. I can't. I don't want to ruin it, but I've gotten with Eagle Dynamics and Wags and those folks. They've been really awesome, and we're going to do something to for a very worthy cause. I hope you will all participate. And yeah, I'll check the message about the Blackhawk. Please make sure you send it to the Facebook page. And if you haven't already, facebook.com/CW Moyne, Instagram CW Lemoyne, and buy a book, help support the channel. So, and if you want the t-shirts and stuff, that's also through the Teespring store. So, thanks for watching. I'm going to go ahead and end this now, and I will see you all on the next episode. Bye bye. God, I've been doing this so long, the mouse froze up. See you.